Did Carolyn Corey just capture a portal on camera? All right, we have got to talk about her movie, her documentary, A Tear in the Sky. It was just recently released, and I was able to view it, and I'm going to give my review of A Tear in the Sky right now. Before I get too far into it, please hit like, please subscribe, share in social media, and as I'm going through it, please comment below and let me know what you think about all this. Have you seen A Tear in the Sky? Let me know. And what did you think? Okay, let's get into it. A Tear in the Sky is a documentary that was just released by Carolyn Corey. She has put out several films over the years that I've seen. I think I've seen them all. They're all worth checking out. At first, I wasn't quite sure what to think about Carolyn because, yeah, like her first movie, I think if that was her first movie, she has like a parrot on her shoulder, and it seemed to be almost a parody, haha, a parody of a UFO documentary. And it was really hard to kind of take her seriously. But over the years, I've seen more of her material and seen many interviews that she's given. And I think she's a very interesting person and has an interesting take on all of this. And her films are always worth watching. Well, for A Tear in the Sky, she wanted to get some really high level equipment and some professionals to go to the Catalina Islands, which is a hotspot of UFO activity. And she, with the best available equipment and with a fairly healthy budget for this equipment, she wanted to observe the skies over the Catalina Islands for a week and see what they could capture with their equipment. And that's what they did. And, next time you go to the Catalina Islands and want to observe the skies, Carolyn, I'm available. I'm just saying, that sounds like a pretty sweet deal, going to the Catalina Islands for a week to look for UFOs. I love it. I love it. Let's do it. Yeah, so they do that, and they bring a team over there. This is the same team that came to Skinwalker Ranch not long ago, or in this season. They filmed it last year. They probably also filmed A Tear in the Sky last year, or fairly recently, or some while back. But it's the same team, and these are guys that were witnesses at the Nimitz encounter in 2004. And they have gone on to pursue this stuff professionally, to study it and to get really fancy equipment to observe it and to catalog it. So I really love what they're doing. And she brings them on there. I forget their name. Is it AMDX? I should have written it down. Anyway, whatever. It's 4 letters. I'll call it AMDX. It's probably wrong. No, but so a really, really cool group of guys. And I think there were others as well. And they camp out on the roof of this nice house on a hill in the Catalina Islands, and they observe the skies. And meanwhile, we get to learn more about each one of them and what they think and what Carolyn thinks. And William Shatner makes a guest appearance. He probably only showed up for a few hours, but he did. And he's the celebrity guest for the movie. And he's engaging and intelligent and fun as always. He always has some interesting things to say, and he does during this. And he kind of takes the point of view of the skeptic. And so I don't know how much he's bought into all of the weirdness surrounding the phenomenon. But he obviously seems to believe in at least some of it. And he's willing to listen to what Carolyn has to say. And they seem to be friends and have a good relationship and a good rapport. So every now and then during the movie, he will give his thoughts on what's happening. And much of the movie is filler. Really, there's not a whole lot going on in the movie other than, showing a few random UFOs and talking about the current state of UFO disclosure and whatever. So not a super compelling runtime for most of it, although it's worth watching. I mean, I'm not saying it's boring, but then we get to the end, and the end is the exciting part, and it's what makes this whole thing worthwhile. And I'm sure that Carolyn was very happy and relieved that they were able to get this on camera to make this movie worthwhile. And it is. So what they capture is what seems to be a portal in the sky, or a terror in the sky, as they name the movie after this event, as they should. And the clouds part, or are suddenly not there, and there are ships or crafts or objects in the sky where the clouds were. So it's just there's a tear in the sky, and there's some UFOs there, and they're able to witness this and record this, I think, on multiple devices. And they studied it for months, and they got the high level scientists to study this for months, and to corroborate it and to investigate it as much as they were able. And yeah, so it's no natural phenomenon. There's no planes. There's nothing, no weather phenomenon that suddenly parted the clouds at that exact time. It's really fascinating and amazing to watch. And it's if you have seen the latest episode of Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, I'm specifically talking about episode 4 of season 3. They were able to capture something that looks like a portal opening in the sky or something. I mean, that's what it is evocative of, is a portal opening in the sky. Who knows what it really was? But then Carolyn Corey is able to capture this, also possibly a portal opening in the sky. It just the clouds are no longer there, and there's some ships, or what looks like ships, UFOs, in the gap where the clouds were. That's what it looks like, as if a portal opened up and there's some ships were coming through. So, is that the same phenomenon that was going on at Skinwalker Ranch, or are they separate phenomena? I don't know. And what does that have to do with the larger activity around the Catalina Islands? Is that what is happening at the Catalina Islands? Is there a portal there, or something? And why the Catalina Islands? And also, if they don't want to be observed, why don't the beings relocate somewhere else now that there's a lot of scrutiny on the Catalina Islands? So, is there something specific to that location that they need? Is the electromagnetic, sphere weak at that point, or strong at that point, or something? And that's a good place to be, or something else altogether different, because there seems to also be a lot of activity coming and going from the water, and they didn't really go into all of that during the movie. I wish they had. I wish they had studied the Catalina Islands and the phenomena around the islands as a whole, and really dug into that. I thought that would have been juicy, and it would have filled up the runtime a little more interestingly, in a very relevant way. But whatever. Maybe they're saving that for the sequel. It's interesting that with the Nimitz incident in 2004, that I believe that after those objects, the Tic Tac and the Tic Tacs, because there are many of them over the course of a week, they saw up to maybe 100 of those things. They either were coming from the Catalina Islands, or else they went to the Catalina Islands afterwards. I forget which one. If you remember, please let me know. But yeah, so that activity, which was quite a bit of activity, had the Catalina Islands as a focal point. So, or an orientation point of some sort. So, what does that mean? I don't know, but that's a hot spot. There is something major going on. I think it was at the Catalina Islands where a remote viewer, because the idea is that there is an underground or underwater base, at the roots of the island or whatever. And a remote viewer went, projected himself down there to see what was going on. And sure enough, saw a UFO, I think, sitting on the floor of the ocean. And there was an alien, and the alien was aware of his presence. And when he became aware that the alien was aware of his presence, he said, no thanks, I'm going home, and he did. And hard to blame him, but so there does seem to be some stuff going on the ocean floor or below the ocean floor or whatever. It's not just in the skies. So if there is a portal and there is activity on the ocean floor around the islands, why can't they just open a portal directly at the base? Are they trying to be observed? Does the portal have to be open in the air? Can it not be open in the water? What are the limitations on this technology if that's what it is? That's just, fascinating to consider. I wish I knew any of the answers, one or more of the answers. I would be happy to know. What do you think? What do you think is going on at the Catalina Islands? What did you think of A Tear in the Sky? Have you seen it? I recommend it. I give it, 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, I think the runtime could have been filled up with more relevant stuff about the Catalina Islands. It did feel like there was some filler there. It was like a 90-minute movie, and I felt like it probably could have been 30 minutes. But I understand they're making a movie. They have to make it 90 minutes. So I don't fault them for that. But I do think they could have put some different stuff in there. But anyway, I really enjoyed it. I give it a thumbs up, and I hope that you give this video a thumbs up. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Also, comment below in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the movie, of the Catalina Islands, of the Nimitz incident. Let me know your thoughts down below. Please hit subscribe, and if you do, please hit the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. As always, please share it on social media. We're trying to get the word out about what's going on Cosmic Road. And until next time, Cosmic Road out.